And we are live on location in fabulous Las Vegas. And with me is the pitch man, the wonderful and amazing entrepreneur, TV personality, Mr. Kevin Harrington. Thanks so much for being here, Kevin.
Great to be here, Maria. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so today we're talking about the perfect pitch. And so many people are unprepared when it comes to pitching or getting their product out. They're passionate, but they don't know how to convey that. So let's break that down a little bit. What is that perfect pitch?
Okay, so as an original shark from Shark Tank, number of seasons, 50,000 people came on the show the last time. Only 300 got accepted. So what did the other 49,700 people do wrong? They didn't know how to pitch. So there's a 10-step process. And I say, number one, you need to open with something very attention-getting. So something that might be crazy, zany, something, because let's imagine you're in an elevator and you're riding up the elevator with Warren Buffett and you're going to try to get some money from him to invest, right? So what do you, I mean, Warren's a very calm kind of guy, but you got to get him to focus on what you're going to be talking about. So get his attention first, and this is just 2-3 seconds, okay? But it's got to be something that it pertains maybe to your business too. Once you got the attention, now you're moving through these steps. You want to start with some kind of a problem situation. So what is the problem? And your presentation should include a unique solution to that problem, such that it's so unique that there's nothing else that solves the problem in a similar fashion. So that was a mouthful. I'll say it again. Unique enough such that it solves the problem where nothing else solves it in a similar fashion. Very, very important, okay? Now, I also look for something that has a magical transformation. And people love that. When you think about life, when you think about from children that are screaming and crying to now they're calm and you've soothed them. So that's a magical transformation. You have a problem, now you've solved that problem with what is that solution? Is it unique? And there's nothing like it. So magical transformation is huge. I actually could go all day telling you about all these 10, but just look for something that's multifunctional, something that can do more than just one thing, and demonstrable. If you can demonstrate it, if it's visual, that's very important. So think about something that's multifunctional, visually demonstrable, and magically transformational. And that really is now getting a lot of the essence of this perfect pitch. So I think that's about 5. So I don't want to give away all my secrets here because we're going to tell you how to get the rest of them. But that's a pretty good start.
So I want to talk to you about investors. When people see an investor, they're excited, they run up to them, they're ready to pitch them. But are all investors looking for a particular thing, or is there something, I think you call it like the sweet spot?
Yeah, exactly. So the problem a lot of times people have when they pitch to an investor is they come in and they just start pitching. Yeah. The first thing you really need to find out, if you have the time, okay, not if you only have 30 seconds, be ready to give the elevator pitch, but you need to find out what their sweet spot is. Some investors look for great, real high, fast growth companies. And then they're not focused as much on profits. So like a Facebook was very fast growth, but there was no income. So they were getting users. So that's one kind of investor. If that investor likes to see that, make your presentation geared towards that side of the upside of your business. Others look for a very strong management team. Without it, they won't put a dime in. So they want to see a real strong board of advisors. So that's something that's very important to have. So there's 10 different sweet spots that I analyzed and then focused on creating different ways to get to those investors. So other investors look for an industry that has tremendous capabilities for acquisition. So people will come to me and they'll say, I've got a company that's doing very well in an industry my competitor just got acquired for $100 million. So now, my antennas are raised up that this could be the next $100 million acquisition, or maybe $1 billion acquisition. So that's another sweet spot is in an industry where there's going to be a very quick acquisition. Other investors are focused solely on profits, and they just want to see a strong balance sheet, they're really just financial guys, you know? They want to know, if I'm doing $100 million in sales, are you going to make $15 million in profits, EBITDA, you know, earnings before interest, taxes, and depreciation? And, you know, so that kind of an investor, you need to talk to him. That's more of like a Warren Buffett kind of a guy. So again, there's 10 different sweet spots. If you know what the sweet spot is, you can tailor your presentation towards that investor and have a much better chance of getting him to write the check.
Well, right on. I know everybody's dying. They want to get all those 10 sweet spots. Where do they go to get that information? KevinHarrington.tv, my website, and we give you a lot of the details. All of those details are on the website, KevinHarrington.tv. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Kevin Harrington. Good job.
Thank you.
Woo! Right. So if you're listening to this interview and you hear tinkling, ting, ting, ting going on, we actually have an audience here who are having a lovely lunch at the Wynn. So how do you feel about this event?
You know, I love to I'm doing a 20-city tour right now. So I go from one city to the next, about 3-4 cities a week right now. And it's so much fun because I like to touch the local communities, and in this case here in Vegas you get a national community because you know, they're not just from Las Vegas. International, right. So actually I'll be in Melbourne, Australia in a couple weeks, and then Sydney, then I go to London. So I am touring the world to go meet with entrepreneurs and get the perfect pitch everywhere I go. So it's exciting. I love it.
Well, thank you so much for being here and being in our lovely city.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.